Keeping them honest every night. AC 360. CNN. Weeknights 10 Eastern.
Keeping them honest with the headline-grabbing words of a congresswoman who might soon be running for president, Michele Bachmann. Bachmann has been spending a lot of time in Iowa lately testing the waters for a presidential run, and it's in Iowa yesterday that she launched into an attack on Planned Parenthood. Now, it's not my job to support or oppose Planned Parenthood. My job is to report what's true and what's not, and some of what Michele Bachmann is claiming about Planned Parenthood simply is not true. Listen.
The executive director of Planned Parenthood in Illinois said they want to become the lens crafter of big abortion in Illinois. They are the largest provider of abortion in the United States. And not only that, they are one of the largest political organizations that you can imagine as well.
Now, Planned Parenthood says it performs some 330,000 abortions a year out of some 1.2 million abortions in the country, according to the Guttmacher Institute. So they are a big abortion provider, although that's only a small fraction of what they do. But Bachmann is claiming a Planned Parenthood executive said they want to become the lens crafters of big abortion. And she's also claiming they're one of the largest political organizations you can imagine. Neither of those statements is true. And what's interesting is it's not the first time Congresswoman Bachmann has made these claims. This is her talking about Planned Parenthood back in July 2008.
This organization has now become a big box retailer, big abortion, in other words.
The executive director in Illinois for Planned Parenthood said, we want Planned Parenthood to be the lens crafters of big abortion.
So it's a catchy quote. Question is, where did she get this quote from the executive director? Well, we believe she's referring to a quote made by Planned Parenthood's Illinois executive director, Steve Trombley, a month before that statement in 2008. He was quoted in the Wall Street Journal back in June of 2008 saying of Planned Parenthood, quote, I like to think of it as the lens crafters of family planning. Again, I like to think of it as the lens crafters of family planning, not big abortion. So what Congressman Bachmann has repeatedly done is taken out the family planning part of the sentence and inserted the term big abortion. She's made up a quote. In the article, Mr. Trombley was talking about setting up express locations in shopping malls for family planning services like birth control, pregnancy testing, STD screening, the kind of services which make up the vast majority of what Planned Parenthood does. He wasn't talking about performing abortions in malls. Congresswoman Bachmann, we should point out, is not the only lawmaker who's been making up things about Planned Parenthood. Here's Senator John Kyle.
If you want an abortion, you go to Planned Parenthood, and that's well over 90% of what Planned Parenthood does.
Well, later Senator Kyle retracted that in his office, saying, and I quote, his remark was not intended to be a factual statement. Not intended to be a factual statement, even though it was made on the floor of the Senate. We asked Congresswoman Bachmann to join us tonight. She declined. We did get some reaction from Planned Parenthood. They said, quote, the continued misleading attacks on Planned Parenthood expose a cynical and cold-hearted willingness to further a divisive political agenda, even if it will deny women access to life-saving cancer screenings and birth control. As for the Congresswoman's other claim that Planned Parenthood is one of the largest political organizations you can imagine, well, that's not really true either. According to OpenSecrets.org, the two top donors in the 2010 midterm elections were the U.S. Chamber of Commerce and the Service Workers Union, depending on how you measure it. Depending on which measurement you use, SEIU spent about $53 million, and the Chamber of Commerce spent about $33 million. Planned Parenthood spent less than $1 million. A lot of money, no doubt about it, but compared to the others, hard to call it one of the largest political organizations you can imagine. Some other hard facts, new polling numbers putting Michele Bachmann 7th right now among possible Republican presidential candidates. Donald Trump, interestingly enough, and Mike Huckabee tied for the lead. However, Bachmann is considered especially strong in Iowa, in part because of her conservative beliefs and partly due to the fact she's been living there practically lately, making a lot of trips, and she says she was born there.